everyone. Welcome to our coffee and conversation. My name is Karen, and I'm one of your recovery coaches.
Hi, I'm Raina. I'm one of your recovery coaches here at Capital Recovery.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Craig, also one of your recovery coaches.
My name is Mike. I'm one of your recovery coaches. What's up, everyone? All right.
We have a full house today.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants
We're doing 5 rules of recovery today.
Yeah, it's not letting me tell you no more. I wonder why.
Yeah. So today we're gonna do the 5 rules of recovery, brought to you by Addictions and Recovery.org. Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So should we dive in?
Yeah, let's go. I'll go first. There are 5 simple rules that cover most of what you need to do in recovery. If you're ever in doubt of what to do or if you are on the right track, ask yourself if you are following these 5 simple rules. The beauty of these 5 rules is that they are also indicators of relapse. That's good. When people relapse, it is usually because they have broken one of these 5 rules. Let's see what we got. Rule number 1. Change your life so that it's easier to not use. And I learned this a while ago, but my mentors taught me this. And what this is simply letting us know, putting yourself in a particular environment where though if you do something around them, it'll be a shock. Like, what are you doing? If you got that certain type of people, they look at you like, we don't do that around here. You don't recover from addiction by simply stop using. You recover by creating a new life where it's easier not to use. If you don't create a new life, then all the factors that brought you to your addiction will eventually catch up with you again. You don't have to change everything in your life, but there are a few unhealthy behaviors or negative thinking patterns that have been getting you into trouble. And they will continue to get you into trouble until you let them go. Not every time I read this, but whenever I think about negative thinking patterns or unhealthy behaviors, when I put myself in a situation where a person is mentoring me, I might not think it's an unhealthy behavior, but they might know more than me at that time. And they tell me, no, that is. You think it's not unhealthy because you've been doing it so long, so you don't think it's actually wrong. But somebody else that can give you advice or some type of wisdom or counsel, whatever you want to call it, might can see that as an unhealthy behavior and they relate it to you. So where was that? The more you try to hold on to your old life, the less you will do in recovery. That's true. The more you try to hold on, you distance yourself from people who's going down the right path. Here are some common things that people need to change in recovery. Number 1 here, avoid high-risk situations. High-risk situations are people, places, and things. These are very important. You have to avoid every high-risk situation, especially the ones you can control. If you living in a situation that's a high risk situation and you can't just leave out the house or have nowhere to stay, you can make preparations on getting out of there. People who you use with, or people who encourage you to use are common triggers for relapse, no matter how long you knew that individual. That's a big one for real. Places where you use or places where you went to get drugs or alcohol are common triggers. These in early recovery are higher than when you get years down the road. Like things that used to trigger me in my first year don't even move me at all at 13 years. Like,
I was gonna say, when I first got clean, like there were certain Wawas I didn't want to go to.
Yeah.
It's just like being at them was like, no, this doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right. But after the more you start to grow and advancing with your recovery process, those things might necessarily don't be the same, or it won't be as intense as it is. I know personally different places that I went through. I mean, literally, Man, I'm talking about if I go near that place, my stomach will flip. Like, it's so crazy. Like, what in the world? And it was just an amazing experience. And things that you use with, such as drug and alcohol paraphernalia, are powerful triggers. I used to have another trigger with straws because I used to sniff heroin. And every time I would get straws in my hand, I would be playing with the straws and I'd be like, I gotta put the straw in. Yo, it was crazy because I'm like, yo, you want a straw, sir? No, I'll drink out the glass. I'm good. You gonna drink out the glass, man? I said, man, I don't want no straw. I'm not sure. But you gotta remember, things like that, people overlook it. They don't think it's important, but it is. Avoid your drinking friends, your favorite bars, having alcohol in the house. Avoid people who you use with, driving by your dealer's neighborhood. Remove all paraphernalia from your house. Don't keep something around just in case. That's when you one of the kids yesterday was graduating or not graduating, about to complete program, and he said, "Yeah, Mr. Mike, you gave me a date. I literally told him he can be done by August 29th, and this last day is August 29th. He was like, you told me I could do it by August 29th. He said, man, all I got to do is get to October 5th. I said, why? He said, then I get off probation. I said, so you're just going to go right there?
Oh, my.
That's reservation.
Yeah.
That's what that says. Don't keep something around just in case, just in case you go back to it. So that's what a lot of people do. Of course, you can't avoid all high-risk situations, but if you're aware of them, you won't get caught off guard and you will have a chance to prepare yourself. If you're not prepared, small triggers can quickly turn into strong cravings. Somebody can read.
Swan commented and said, hola, it's a great day to be clean.
Yes, it is. Yes.
What's going on, Juan? Give me a call, man, when you get a chance, man. We miss you around these parts.
That's right.
All right.
Go ahead, somebody.
All right. The more you can avoid high-risk situations and the more you can anticipate them and prepare for them, the greater your chance of success. So it talks about HALT. The acronym HALT contains some important and common high-risk situations. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Your strongest cravings usually occur at the end of the day. How do you feel at the end of the day? You're probably hungry because you haven't eaten well. You're angry because you've had a tough day at work or a tough commute. You may feel lonely because you're isolated, and you're tired. That's why your strongest cravings usually occur at the end of the day. And I used to think that to myself all the time. I was like, oh, I've had such a rough day, I need a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Need something to unwind.
Uh-huh.
Stand on my feet all day. All that. Those are none but excuses.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have ice cream, enjoy that.
The same way.
The same way. You're looking for enjoyment. So.
Says recovery isn't about one big change. It's about a few little changes that can change the path of your life. So make a list of your high-risk situations. Addiction is sneaky. Sometimes you won't see a high-risk situation until you're right in the middle of it. That's why it's important to make a list of them and go over it with someone in recovery. Make the list and keep it with you. Someday that list may save your life.
Wow.
It's a really good idea.
Make a list of high-risk situations. Yeah, because whenever ones that you know them too, because I can't possibly tell somebody what their high-risk situations are. I can tell them what my high-risk situations are. And you have to make a list of what ones are high risk to you. But everybody don't have the same, just like triggers. We don't all have the same triggers. That some people didn't have a problem with carrying your money like I did. I couldn't carry a lot of money. I would get nervous. After years of being in recovery, I was okay. But some people like, man, I can carry all my money. Like, I ain't got that problem. But that's true. But that's why it says make a list of your high risk situations. So you got to figure that out. Who's next?
Change. I'll do one. Change negative thinking. Negative thinking is a risk factor both for developing an addiction and for relapse. All right. Common types of negative thinkings are negative self-labeling and all or nothing thinking. It's all or nothing. I know someone told me, said he just couldn't have just one drink or one sniff. He say he was one of the type of person, he'd go to the extreme.
Yep.
It's all or nothing for that person, you know. If people knew the real me, they wouldn't like me. Who says, I don't think I'm likable. These are negative thinkers I'm reading here. Life is hard and I can't handle it without using something. People often tell themselves that, you know, in order to cope, they feel that, especially in a new setting or a new environment, especially if you're not used to going to somewhere, going to an event where they're not drinking and drugging, you may say, well, I don't feel uncomfortable. You know, let me get me something to knock off these urges.
So people was like, come out on the dance floor and dance with us. I'm like, I haven't danced since I stopped drinking. I don't know if I can.
I don't forgot.
Gotta move. Life won't be fun without using, and I won't be fun. Recovery is more work than it's worth. My cravings will be overwhelming, and I won't be able to resist. So why bother? If I stop using, I'll only start up again. I have never finished anything. Those are self-defeating attitudes or thoughts. If you feel that you can't accomplish anything, you already failed.
Yeah.
So you have to tell yourself, well, you know what? I will succeed. I will not fail. And if I do fall, I'll pick myself up and start over.
Yeah, because your negative, if you change your negative thinking, I always, the person that mentored me or taught me, he says, if you can say you can't do it, why you can't say you can? Like, what is it going to actually hurt you? I said, man, I can't do it. He said, well, if you can say that, why won't you say you can do it? And I said, yeah, that's absolutely. It doesn't take nothing, you know, from you for feeling like a positive mindset instead of negative thinking.
I think all these things too are important. Why to have a network of people in your life that can, like, you know, cheer you on until you know, see the good in you until you can see it yourself.
Yeah, and most people, and I learned that too, most people see your potential before you.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you probably think, man, I ain't really, they be like, no, yeah, because I remember my wife telling me a few times I was trying to do stuff and learn stuff, and she said, yo, you actually smart. You don't even realize how smart you is. And I'm like, nah, I can't. She was like, man, you actually smart, man. And a lot of people see your potential more than you. So a lot of times we be having self-defeating behaviors in our own head, and other people see the opposite.
And if you listen to it enough, you'll start believing it too.
Yeah. You like, yeah, I got this.
Especially when it's not just one person telling you, you know what I mean? When there's like several people, you're like, all right, well, maybe I'm not so bad.
That's the self-talk. Core belief. You believe something like Karen said, you will start carrying it out. All right, the last one says, I worry that I am too damaged to recover or be happy. Negative thinking leads to anxiety, depression, and addiction. If you think you are not likable, you will be anxious because you're worried that you will be found out. If you think you will fail, therefore, why bother trying? You will feel trapped by life, which leads to depression. If you feel anxious or depressed, you may turn to drugs or alcohol to escape. And those are mental health issues right there. So if you don't have the right coping skills, those emotions that one may be feeling anxious or depressed, you may try to mask it with some type of substance.
And it's in the beginning where it says that these rules are like indicators of relapse. Like when you have come a certain period, like, or come a certain way that you, like, now you're starting to regress and start thinking there's negative things again, that's usually like an indicator that you're like relapse.
All right, Kev's on the line. So
all right, Kev.
What's going on, Kevin? Good
Anywhere but back. Where we at? Number common fear?
Yep.
A common fear of recovery is that you are not capable of recovery. The fear is that recovery requires some special strength or willpower that you don't possess. But people just like you, with strength and weaknesses, with determination and self-doubt have recovered from addiction. Cognitive behavior therapy has been proven to change negative thinking and treat anxiety, depression, and addiction. The basic idea of cognitive therapy is that negative thinking is learned thinking, and therefore it can be unlearned and replaced with healthier thinking. If you can change your thinking, you will improve your life.
Hashtag.
Post that.
If you can change your thinking, you will improve your life. Yeah, that's so powerful, because a lot of times, if people tell me what they've been thinking about all day, I can tell them why they feel so depressed or so down. Like is a phrase I use. I actually got out the Bible, and it says, "I think myself happy." I don't even know the rest of the line. All that part I remember, and it says, "I think myself happy." And anytime I read it, I said, "I think myself happy." So they're basically saying, no matter what my situation is, I'm thinking something that's going to make me happy, even though the situation might be bad. So if you change, that's why I like, if you change your thinking, you will improve your life. Rule number 2. Let's go.
And I was gonna say, what also sticks with me every time is what you always say, Mike, that people do have the strength and the willpower, they just have to use it for the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, to score something, I mean, you do have to do a lot
Yeah.
to get it. So, just,
You just gotta know how to use it. You got it. You got it in you. Just use it. Somebody emailed me or texted me yesterday about employment, and they said something about could you connect me to some employment, but behind the employment it says that won't look at my past. And I'm thinking, apply and let them say no. Because a lot of times you automatically disqualify ourselves. Like the thought is, my past gonna stop me.
I've heard people say that. They're not gonna hire me. They're not gonna hire me.
Yeah. That's thinking. That's your
Say,
thinking.
a lot of people say that, especially those coming out of the Department of Corrections.
Or out of addiction, just with a messed up past. Automatically they think the past is gonna stop me from achieving it. So which in turn stop them from attempting to do it. And I always been on that mode. Not always, but my business mentor said, you deny yourself before you even apply.
Yep.
I said, what? He said, you ain't even applied for the grant. You said you can't get it. And he said, don't let them. I told crazy. I said, don't let them say no.
We start using that term around.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if they're gonna do it.
Try.
Yeah, man, let them say no. Rule number 2. You want me to read? Huh? All right. Ask for help and develop a recovery circle. Most people start recovery by trying to do it on their own. True. They want to prove that they have control over their addiction and that they are not as unhealthy as people think. But trying to do recovery on your own is the hardest way to go. It is what you have already tried unsuccessfully. That's why it didn't work. You can tell it didn't work because you had to start over and over. Addiction is isolating. Your world gets smaller as you give up more of your life to make more room for your addiction. Recovery involves learning to reach out and ask for help. Some common sense when asking for help. Not everybody is your best friend. You can't tell everybody everything. You gotta know that. Some people might not be understanding that you have an addiction, and some people might not be supportive that you want to recover. Don't let that stop you. There are many people who do want to help you. Craig just had said that, mentioned to somebody. He said, if you're trying to do something, it's everybody want to help a person they see trying.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to help everybody, but if you see somebody taking the steps to try to do this, try to get a job, you go a little extra harder for them. Like, man, what else I can do? A person called yesterday and he had a situation where he had to do something and he did it, but he didn't do it when they told him to do it. He had to complete the program at first, literally. He completed it, but they didn't refer him yet. So he did it on his own. So now they trying to tell him, you got to do it over. And I'm like, we got to work with you. So I don't know how we got to figure it out.
Get penalized for showing initiative.
So you know what I'm saying? When somebody already did something, you want to try to break the rule or go against your policy to try to say, you know what, you did it wrong, but let me help you. And I was telling her, I said, because that stuff like that pushes people back out.
Absolutely.
You know, you gotta always try to help people. Let's see, develop a recovery circle. The stronger your circle, the stronger your recovery. A recovery circle should include at least the following: close family members, close friends, health professionals, counselors, self-help recovery groups. All those people should be in your recovery support circle. A lot of times people have issues with building trust. I've learned to, when I was in particular programs, I build relationships with people in there. And building those relationships with those people helped me expand to build relationship with other individuals.
And you gotta, most of the time, these are not the same people that you have a relationship with when you were using. So like family members, yes, close people who you thought were close friends while you're using are probably not going to be close friends in recovery.
Nah.
So
Especially if they still.
you have to make sure that you know what I mean, you're putting the right people in your life.
Yeah, because if they still currently using the close friends you have, make them come to what I coined, come on my turf. Like that means you gotta be around the people I'm around now. I'm not coming over there. I just don't feel confident enough. Not even yet. 13 years later, I still won't do it. Like I won't. Sometimes we get to that place. Let me test it out. Let me see if I can go. You're gonna fail every time.
Yep.
Everyone finds asking for help difficult. There is one reason that self-help groups are important. They make it easy to find help because they provide a non-judgmental, understanding environment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you need to. You gotta have some place where you won't feel all judged. You feel like you haven't. I remember I was afraid to tell people I had thoughts and desires about using. I'm like, I can't tell them. I'm in a group of people. I'm sweating inside. Like, man, I'm thinking about this, but I can't tell all of them because all the people that I was around was like judgmental people. Yeah, I was sweating like, you couldn't see it. But I couldn't tell them because that circle of people was judgmental type of people. So I was like, I'm stuck. I got to get around people who say, I understand. And that's what that means. You got to have that. Joining a self-help group has been shown to significantly increase your chances of recovery. That's so true. The combination of substance abuse program and self-help groups is the most effective strategy.
Yeah, that has been my biggest support system.
Yeah.
It's being in a 12-step program. Yeah. And when you do start sharing things, you were like so surprised that like, oh, you thought that too?
Yeah.
You did that too?
You thought
okay.
You were unique, right?
All right. And you like makes it easier for you to start opening up to people.
And that's what you need. You need that environment. Asking for help and develop a recovery circle. You need that circle to move forward. I still have people that I can go to and you can basically express how you feel about certain situations or at that current moment. You need that. And there are many groups out there. We ain't gonna read all of them. Benefits, somebody wanna read?
Kevin said, I would like to say thank you for allowing me to be part of Recovery Center.
Oh, you are welcome, Mr. Kevin. You are welcome.
Anytime, Kevin.
Hey, one day we got to bring him on live. Like, we can bring him on live on here. I'm going to send you the link one time and you can join us at the meeting. I'll send you a link and let you know.
Oh, that's good, man.
Yeah, we can pull him on.
Benefits of belonging to a self-help group. Let's talk about it. You feel that you're not alone. These are the benefits of to belonging to a self-help group. First bullet says you feel that you're not alone. Second bullet says you learn what addiction and denial sound like by hearing them in others. We just mentioned that.
Let's talk about it.
Just talk about it. You learn what strategies have been successful in recovery. You have a safe place to go where you will be not judged. Where you will not be judged.
You need that because you won't.
Yeah.
You won't. That's why I don't the people we deal with, the recovery or the participants, whatever term we use that we deal with, I always tell them, y'all can always come back here. Don't run from us.
Yeah,
We the people that we definitely ain't gonna judge you. We want to help you.
and we let them know that we are your peers.
We peers.
Not all of us your peers, directly,
Yeah.
or some form of other. We have
We
some
can
type of
relate.
that's right. We have
We
relatable
can
experience.
understand.
Absolutely.
We understand
Guilt and shame are common emotions in addiction.
immediately.
Immediately. This is one benefit of self-help groups that deserve special attention. Guilt and shame are obstacles to recovery because they make you feel like you have been damaged and that you don't deserve recovery or happiness. Self-help groups help you overcome guilt and shame by seeing that you are not alone. You feel that recovery is within your reach.
Guilt and shame. If you like in the current state right now and you see this video and you just relapse, guilt and shame is like immediately. You automatically feel like, I messed up, I did it again, or So if you feel like that, you can always reach out to us and we can help you start the process all over again. So don't let guilt and shame beat you down, because more guilt and shame you keep pondering and then turns into depression, which turns into So it's like the guilt and shame you feel after a relapse, or currently just using period, is something that comes immediately. You start thinking, oh my goodness, I done did it again.
Did it again. Bye, George.
I done did it. By George.
How to get the most out of a self-help group. It has been shown that the way to get the most out of a 12-step group is to attend meetings regularly, have a sponsor, read 12-step materials, and have the conscious goal of abstinence.
I was thinking about this when your readings, the 5 rules of recovery.
Yeah.
And being in this 12-step program, we have what we call suggestions. But in all actuality, those are the things that you need to be doing to sustain recovery. So they are rules.
It's a suggestion that we guarantee you're gonna have to do.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome, because you need those suggestions. And that's a good way to put it, because when you say rule, a lot of people like to go against the rule.
Exactly.
So that's a good when you say this
Yep,
is
we have
it's a suggestion, but it's really a rule. Like, I got a suggestion for you. And that's awesome, because I remember talking to someone and Craig was literally telling them some suggestions, right? Like, I'm giving you this, I don't suggest you do this. I don't suggest you, listen to me. I said, oh man. And when I heard that response, I thought about me when my mentors used to talk to me. And I tell Craig all the time, I had the same mentor, my recovery mentor. And every time I would relapse, he would come back and he said, now, Mike, you know I'm not going to teach you anything different, right? I'm like, yo, hold on. He said, I'm glad you're alive and you're back, Mike, but you are aware, right? I'm not teaching you anything different. And I was like, I thought he was going to have a new book. He said, nah, you just need to apply these suggestions and you'll be okay. And that's a lot of times when we ask for help and developing our circle, we got to understand that, that's what we have to do. Where we at, Craig? Reason
for not joining a self-help group. These are some of the reasons people give for not joining self-help groups. If I join a group, I will be admitting that I am an addict or an alcoholic. I want to do it on my own. I don't like groups. I'm not a joiner. I don't like speaking in front of people. That is so true. A lot of people, sometimes it takes people to get comfortable around other people. So at first it will be.
It is uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. But I will tell you, Sunday night, a friend of mine celebrated his first year clean.
Nice.
And this was a person who, when they first came into the room, was like shaking like a leaf, could barely get any words out. And when he did, he would start to cry.
Yeah.
He sat in front of a room full of at least 30 to 40 people.
Wow.
And just the gratitude and it just came out so beautifully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's proof that, you know what? Yes, it is a little awkward. Yes, it is a little uncomfortable, but that gets less and less and less.
Yeah, just like the saying goes, who knows your story better than you?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Who else can tell it better than you? And so that's how you can feel more comfortable about sharing.
And then you're not the only person to experience that, so don't feel like you.
Very common.
Yeah, it's common for people to be able to speak in front of people. And again, I used to sweat outside when I used to have to speak in front of people. And as I was growing up, and they was like, "Why are you pouring out?" I'm like, I don't know. And then to find out I could speak anyway. Like all that time I was afraid, and then I'm like, man, that's the easy. When we was when I be at first step, and they say, man, we need somebody to do the groups. I was like, I'll do the groups all day long. If y'all want to do the keep typing, go ahead. I'll do the groups. You can stay in the office all day long. I stay in the group. So speaking in front of people is challenging, but don't get discouraged.
And so, as we're reading, reasons for not joining a self-help group, it says, I don't want to quit one addiction and become addicted to AA. I'm afraid someone will recognize me. I'm not comfortable with the idea of a higher power.
That one, I love that. I'm afraid somebody's gonna see me and they're gonna know. Like, we don't see you walking down the street.
That's what I say. I always say, like, when I actively use it, we like, man, well, I'm better now. I'm working to change my life, and I don't want nobody to see it. I'm like, I don't want to see me going that first step. Like, when you was getting high, they saw you. So what's the
Rather see me walking in
I'd rather see them going. If they gonna see me do something, I'd rather them see me doing something positive.
I can assure you that most people who have joined a self-help recovery group have had the same objections. You may discover that these objections are really just your addiction talk, and that there are solutions to all of them. Before deciding if self-help groups are for you, give them a try and ask the people there how they overcome their objections.
I think like self-help groups, like regardless of which one you choose to do, are like so crucial because it helps you not isolate.
Yeah. So we're gonna finish this on Thursday. Is it 25th?
The 25th, yes.
So we'll finish what we did, 1, 2. That's it.
Rule number 1 and 2.
There's a lot of detail, right?
Potatoes in there.
Hey, so we'll finish the other ones on Thursday.
We're gonna give you gravy.
We give you gravy and a snack. We give you a take home too, man. But we just wanted to share some of the rules with you, and we'll finish up on the rest of them next this Thursday at 1 o'clock at our all recovery meeting. All right. So thanks for tuning in.
Hashtag thank you for your support.
Oh, thank you, Juan, Kevin, and everybody who will watch this video later. Please share it, like, share, subscribe, comment. Any comments, any concerns? Huh? Notifications, yeah, any comment, concerns, criticisms, email Craig. All right.
Also, share this stuff with your friends. Tell them to tag in as well. Don't just be by yourself. Don't isolate, man.
Yeah, whenever we go live, make sure y'all share this video while we're live, okay?